Introduction. The theater of life. In the grand theater of life, it is not our words but our actions that define who we are. This powerful truth, echoed by the Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius, reminds us that it is what we do, not what we say, that shapes our destiny. Often, we believe that action is fueled by motivation, and that motivation itself is sparked by emotion. But what happens when that emotional spark fades, when inspiration feels as distant as the stars? We've all experienced moments when our energy falters, when the goals we once held dear feel just out of reach. Not because we lack desire, but because we lack the emotional drive to pursue them. It is in these times that Stoicism becomes a compass, offering timeless wisdom to help us navigate through apathy and inertia. Purpose over emotion. Stoic philosophy teaches us to anchor ourselves not to fleeting emotions but to enduring values. As Seneca once said, "When a man does not know what harbor he is making for, no wind is the right wind. Without a clear purpose, even the strongest motivation will drift aimlessly." This is a call to define your purpose, to name your harbor, and to sail the seas of life with intention, clarity, and courage. The journey begins. Join me as we explore 7 Stoic lessons designed to reignite your inner drive and help you take action, especially when you're stuck in a rut. These lessons will teach you how to ground your actions in virtue, overcome emotional resistance, and live with self-directed purpose. Stay with me until the end, and commit to walking this path of self-discovery and discipline. Accept this Stoic challenge not as mere inspiration, but as a call to transform your life through action, growth, and unwavering resolve. Lesson 1. Discipline yourself. At the heart of Stoicism lies self-discipline, a practice of self-control that doesn't confine, but liberates. Marcus Aurelius taught that true freedom comes from mastering how we respond to life's ever-changing circumstances. Self-discipline isn't about restriction, it's about direction. It's recognizing that we have the power to govern our thoughts, impulses, and actions. It's the quiet strength that keeps us aligned with our values when distractions or doubts arise. Developing discipline starts with small, intentional steps. Begin each day by reflecting on your values. Set meaningful goals rooted in those values. Strengthen your will through small, consistent acts of self-mastery. As Epictetus advised, virtue grows when we practice doing good until it becomes second nature. This process isn't without setbacks. You will struggle. You will fall, but as Seneca wrote, we are strengthened by each trial. In facing our weaknesses, we are refined, not weakened by the fire of our efforts. Your discipline is a way of being. Ultimately, self-discipline is more than a productivity tool, it is a spiritual path. It's the daily, deliberate effort to live in harmony with nature, to act with integrity, and to honor your commitments to yourself and to others. It is through this inner resolve that we translate thought into action and dreams into reality. We do not wait for perfect conditions. We create them through action, guided by principle. So reflect deeply. How can you strengthen your own resolve? How can your daily life reflect the virtues you hold sacred? Self-discipline is the key that unlocks our true potential. It turns intention into motion and breathes life into the pursuit of peace, purpose, and inner freedom. Lesson 2. Stop procrastinating. Conquer laziness. Through Stoic action, procrastination and laziness are not just productivity problems, they're threats to our growth, to our virtue, and to our very identity as rational beings. Every time we choose comfort over effort, we lose a part of what we could become. The Stoics saw this clearly. The path of least resistance might feel easy, but it costs us our potential. And that cost is steep. But the antidote is simple. Even if it's not easy, act now. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Don't wait to feel ready. The present moment is all you ever truly have. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself and us to live each day as if it were our last. Because death waits for no one. And when we delay our duties, we gamble with time we do not own. Epictetus taught that we are the authors of our lives, and that laziness is not a flaw of character but a failure of choice, a turning away from who we're capable of being. Procrastination is a refusal to honor our higher nature, to fight it, embrace discomfort, do what needs to be done especially when you don't feel like doing it. Work with awareness, act with purpose. Choose the harder right over the easier wrong. Seneca, ever precise, warned us of time thieves' distractions, delays, aimlessness. He observed that while we defend our property from being stolen, we allow our time, our most precious resource, to slip away. To overcome procrastination, follow the Stoic path. Structure your day with purpose. Recognize distractions for what they are, thieves in disguise. Hold your time sacred, as you would your life. Through Stoic discipline, you'll begin to act not out of fleeting motivation, but from a deeper well of clarity and intention. The Stoic mindset teaches us not just to do, but to become the kind of person who acts. Lesson 3. Make good habits a habit. In the garden of Stoic thought, where virtue and wisdom are cultivated, the practice of building good habits stands as a powerful symbol of transformation. These daily rituals, the small repeated actions we choose, are more than routine. They are declarations of who we are becoming. Every habit is a seed, and with care, intention, and consistency, it grows into the character we carry through life. The Stoics taught that good habits reflect our alignment with nature and reason. Habits like mindfulness, gratitude, kindness, resilience, and the disciplined pursuit of knowledge are not just tasks, they are soul work. They shape the fabric of a life well lived. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that excellence is not a single act, but a repeated choice. Each morning is a new opportunity to act with clarity, to practice kindness, to seek truth, and to tend both mind and body with care. Epictetus, ever grounded in practicality, taught that the path to virtue is built on progress, not perfection. We do not seek flawless performance. We seek steady, honest effort. We practice not because we have arrived, but because we are on the path. Seneca warned us not to waste the most precious resource we have, time. When we dedicate our time to things that strengthen rather than weaken us, our habits become the architecture of our future. So how do we make good habits stick? Name your values. Identify virtues that matter to you. Justice, courage, temperance, wisdom. Attach habits to those values. If moderation is important, then thoughtful eating or digital minimalism becomes a daily practice. Start small. Consistency is more powerful than intensity. 5 minutes daily beats an hour once a week. Create triggers. Link your new habit to an existing routine, like practicing gratitude right after brushing your teeth. Track your progress. Reflect weekly. What's working? What needs adjustment? Forgive lapses. Missing a day doesn't mean failure, it's part of the process. Be kind to yourself and recommit. By cultivating these habits deliberately, we begin to live Stoicism, not just think it. Our character becomes formed not by theory but by action, brick by brick, choice by choice. This is the Stoic way, not perfection, but steady progress. Each day, a new page. Each action, a vote for the person you choose to be. Lesson 4. Turn challenges into opportunities. Life is a journey, a winding, unpredictable path woven with hardship and hope. And while many turn away when faced with adversity, the Stoic walks toward it not as punishment, but as preparation. Stoicism is not just a philosophy of thought, it is a philosophy of action under pressure. It teaches us that within every obstacle lies a hidden lesson, a chance to refine our character and grow stronger. One of the most powerful examples of this is Epictetus. Born into slavery, confined by the chains of his time, he could have lived a life defined by limitation. But instead, he found in his suffering a deeper freedom, a freedom of thought, of will, and of purpose. His hardships didn't break him, they shaped him. They became his crucible. And from that fire, he emerged not bitter but wise. This is the Stoic view. Adversity is not the enemy, it is the teacher. What happens to us matters far less than how we respond. Lost a job, an opportunity to redefine your purpose. Heartbreak, a chance to strengthen compassion and independence. Failure, the raw material for resilience. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The obstacle itself becomes the path." To live this truth, don't resist hardship, engage with it. Ask, what can this teach me? What strength does this require of me? Use suffering as fuel for transformation. Challenges, when approached with courage and reflection, can forge character in a way comfort never could. They clarify what matters, strip away illusions, and invite us to stand taller than before. In choosing to see life this way, we become more than survivors, we become alchemists, turning trial into wisdom and pain into purpose. Lesson 5. Begin with a small step. In a world obsessed with results, the Stoics teach us the quiet power of beginnings. Every great journey, no matter how vast, begins with a single, often humble step. That first movement toward change is what matters most, not its size, but its sincerity. Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, didn't set out to shape a philosophical legacy. He wandered into a bookstore and discovered Socrates. That moment, that simple act, became the spark that lit centuries of wisdom. His journey began not with a declaration but with curiosity, with a small step. So when you're overwhelmed by the distance between where you are and where you want to be, don't focus on the mountaintop. Look at the first stone in front of you. Ask yourself, what's the smallest, simplest action I can take right now? Small steps carry great power. They create motion. They generate momentum. They quiet the mind's fear of the unknown. And most importantly, they build confidence not through dreaming, but through doing. This practice is Stoic in nature. It's not about grand plans, but grounded action. One meaningful step, repeated daily, becomes a road. And that road, over time, leads you to the person you were meant to become. Celebrate your first steps. Honor them. Because in a distracted world, choosing to begin is an act of defiance and of courage. Enumas. Lesson 6. Develop your purpose through virtue. The timeless question. What is my purpose finds a clear and grounded answer in Stoic thought. Your purpose is found in virtue. To live with integrity, to act justly, to face life with courage, to seek wisdom. This is not only the Stoic path, but the gateway to a meaningful existence. Look to Cato the Younger. His life was not easy. He lived through chaos, corruption, and political unrest. Yet through it all, he never abandoned his values. His commitment to justice and courage became a living example of Stoic virtue in action. He didn't chase legacy. He lived it. Virtue isn't abstract. It's practical. It's shown in how we speak, how we treat others, how we endure discomfort, how we choose between what is easy and what is right. To develop meaning through virtue means aligning your actions with what you value most, not fleeting desires, not public praise, but the timeless ideals of character. Ask yourself, what virtues do I admire most? Justice, courage, wisdom, moderation. How can I express them in small, daily actions? When your actions reflect your deepest values, life begins to feel aligned. Purpose isn't found in grand accomplishments, it's forged in the quiet, repeated choice to live rightly. As Viktor Frankl, inspired by Stoic thought, once wrote, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." Find your why in virtue, and let it guide your how, step by step, even through adversity. Lesson 7. Simplify your life. In a world overflowing with noise, speed, and distraction, the Stoics offer us a radical idea: simplicity is strength. To live well, we must strip away the unnecessary, not just from our homes, but from our minds. We must make space for what truly matters. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, yet he cherished simplicity. His writings reveal a man who found clarity not in luxury, but in restraint. He chose presence over distraction, virtue over vanity. Simplicity is not about deprivation, it's about deliberate living. It's about choosing quality over quantity, purpose over excess. To simplify, declutter your environment. Let go of what you no longer use or need. Focus your time. Say no to what doesn't align with your values. Limit digital distractions. Be intentional with your tech, your scroll, your screen. Prioritize what matters. Invest in experiences, not possessions. Be present. Practice mindfulness, gratitude, and quiet reflection. In simplicity, we find focus. In clarity, we find peace. And with that peace comes the space to act not frantically, but meaningfully. When our lives are simplified, every action we take becomes more powerful, more intentional, more virtuous. That is the essence of the Stoic life: not to have more, but to be more. To use conclusion. Let action be your philosophy. We've walked together through 7 Stoic lessons, not as spectators of wisdom, but as students ready to live it. Discipline builds the inner strength to act. Overcoming procrastination frees us from fear and excuses. Habits shape our identity day by day. Challenges become fuel for transformation. Small steps carry immense power. Purpose through virtue gives life direction. Simplicity clears the path for meaning. Let these lessons live in you, not as quotes on paper, but as choices you make, steps you take, and the way you show up each day. Take this philosophy into your life, into your relationships, into your challenges. Let Stoicism help you act calmly, clearly, and with courage. And remember, don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. Epictetus. If you found these lessons valuable, please consider liking this video, commenting below. What lesson resonated with you most? Subscribing for more Stoic insights that support your growth. We'll see you in the next lesson. Until then, walk the path with virtue, with purpose, and with peace.